Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the vlog. Today, I want to talk about double standard and going to church and people condemning people for vices when they themselves have sinned. Okay, from start by saying this. You might get offended, you might get upset, but it's the truth. Nobody's perfect. The minute Adam and Eve ate that apple, you were born into original sin. I mean, this is my experiences. Don't get me wrong. Like, I go to a Christian church, and people are not perfect. We all know this. And then when I want to go outside, excuse myself, go across the street to have a cigarette. And I'm guilty of my vices. I admit to those vices. I don't hide what I do. But don't preach to me a sermon about what I'm doing wrong when you yourself sin all week long, whether you realize it or not. We are not here to judge each other. God said, judge not, you shall not be judged. Condemn not, you shall not be condemned. But I feel that it's not the church's place to condemn people. He gave us the final commandment. Christ gave us the final commandment before he descended into heaven. Love everyone as I've loved you, and you'll know you're all my disciples. That doesn't mean you go pointing fingers at other people for their actions when you yourself aren't perfect. I mean, that's just all in fairness. And churches, I mean, it's not, the church ain't bad. It's just the people that are in the church. It's not the church that's bad. It's the people inside the church that are judgmental. Yes, I have vices. I do things. I'm not perfect. But don't preach me to the choir about my things that I'm doing when you're doing wrong as well. You are no better than the next person in line. That's any of us. I think churches need to focus more on being a judgment-free zone and more about loving your fellow person instead of tearing your fellow person down. And I can have vices. I mean, we all have vices. We all do. Some of us do, but not all of us. But still, we have sinned. We've all sinned, I'm sure, to the glory of God. It says it in the book of Romans. So you can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank. It says in the book of Romans, for there, why are you condemning me for my vice? What gives you the right to condemn me for my vice? I've been struggling with this for a while. I haven't made a video about it yet because I need to come to terms with some of the stuff before I made a video. But I feel like that the church needs to focus more on loving thy neighbor as thyself and not pointing fingers and condemning people. You know, I have my vices, and everybody else's ain't perfect. No one else is perfect. And Christ gave us that final commandment if we left earth. But what people fail to realize is what they call criticism and correction is also a form of judgment. It takes a form of judgment. Me, personally, as a Christian, I feel my job is to accept everybody and tolerate everybody, whether they live an alternative lifestyle or they're doing something that I know is wrong, but it's not my place to judge them. I'm not going to take God's job away from him. He reserved that right when he took 3 nails and a cross for my salvation. He descended to heaven and seated at the right hand of the Father. So that gave him the right to judge. It doesn't give me the right to judge. And I wish that the church would focus more on, the passion and the nativity, not just once a month, every day. Because without the nativity and the passion, the New Testament would not exist. And that's a fact. I mean, I'm just bringing facts to light in how I feel. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. It don't mean it's, set in stone. It doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong. These are just my takes on things. Food for thought. So don't judge your neighbor when he does something wrong. You accept them for who they are and pray for them. That's what God told us to do. Pray for him. Not condemn the person, but pray for them. If you know they're doing something wrong, and you know it's written in the Bible they're doing something, what they're doing is wrong, you pray for that person. You don't sit there, point your finger at them and say, blah, 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 blah. God said pray for that person. The Spirit will inject it into their heart that they're doing wrong. God will use the Holy Spirit to inject it into their heart to let them know they're doing is wrong. And God will change and mold their heart to make it right. So it's not our job to condemn people, but our job to accept them, love them, and pray for them. He did not stutter when he said, love everyone as I loved you, then you'll know you're my disciples. He gave no exceptions. He said, if you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. If you don't do that, blah, blah, blah. Or if you do this, blah, blah, blah. No. There was no exceptions when he said that. He said, love everyone as I've loved you, then you'll know you're my disciples. Sure, I'm guilty of being a little angry sometimes, a little short. That's just part of my makeup. I've got a lot of problems, and this is what my channel is about. My autism, how I process things. I got shortcomings, of course I got them. But I don't judge other people for their shortcomings. I love and accept them for who they are. And if I know something they're doing is wrong, I let God handle it. That's his department. And I thank you for listening today. And I hope everyone takes away something from this and understands what I'm talking about and not get offended. Love you guys. Talk to you again next vlog. Bye.